I feel like I should really be apologizing. I've noticed a few comments from people saying there's been a lack of farts in my intros. So this one's for you. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. You're welcome. Hey, you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So whether you loved it or hated it, you cannot deny that Pirate's Life was a great thing for Sea of Thieves. And just so everyone knows my views on this update, I personally enjoyed every single tall tale it brought. The musical score, the graphics, the new areas, the characters, even the story and place was an absolute breath of fresh air, and a completely surprising one at that. Nobody knew about it. Absolutely no one. Insiders, us as Sea of Thieves partners, hell, even some of the devs didn't know about it. Somehow Rare managed to keep this whole thing secret for almost 2 years, which is kind of amazing considering the slip-ups they sometimes make. But although it was a great bit of fun, and possibly some of the best story-driven content the game has ever had, it did really detract from the main storyline, and didn't give much love at all to the protagonists of the main game world. Playing Pirate's Life kind of felt like Sea of Thieves was on pause. And sure, there were some great little tie-ins with the main game storyline, but it was mostly about silly little Disney pirate. But still, Pirate's Life did amazing things for the game. It gave us all something new to experience at a point where we thought nothing was coming, and it almost doubled the player base within 12 hours, which is still a prevalent thing. And that's a good thing for all of us playing. But since this update, we've had no word from Disney Pirate, even though he promised us he would return in the final tall tale right before abducting Rose and George. But here's the thing. Anyone else noticed that Rare have once again been very quiet? And I'm not really talking about what they've been saying as people, I'm talking more about how nothing is being leaked. With Rare's track record as of late, we already all knew about Season 6, Season 7 and Season 8, or at least had a general idea of the content before these seasons ever came out. Slip-ups with UI leaks, slip-ups with ship name banners, and slip-ups with accidental items being added to the game. But it seems like, once again, that the Silence Police have invaded Rare HQ, and update notes are being handed around in sealed boxes armed with dynamite, and anyone who dares say anything is being flogged.
They shall sail together, yes, but in time they will learn that they shall fail together. A pirate's life for us.
This clip from one of the Christmas teasers, which was giving us a hint as to what's to come in 2023, uses the term Pirate's Life once again. Now, I know this isn't a lot to go off, as Pirate's Life is a term used by the Reapers quite often. I mean, Sea of Thieves literally is the Pirate's Life, so basing just this one sentence on an update cadence is a little over the top. But with that said, let's just take a look at hints that have been in plain sight since Pirate's Life. So at the end of the Pirate's Life Tall Tales, Calypso, the literal god of the ocean, tells Jack that he made a promise to her. We still don't know who this her is.
Remember, Jack, you made her a promise.
I'm afraid Theodorn was correct. I have some unfinished business that must, unfortunately, take precedent over any revelry in the immediate futurity.
But at the very end, the Black Pearl turns to gold and travels through a portal to a mysterious place, using a talisman that literally allows the user to travel to any destination between worlds. Now, let's talk about Belle, a person we know very little about, who suddenly emerge as if from nowhere during the very first adventure, Shrouded Islands. We know that Belle is very good friends with the Ancients, and knows of at least one of the secret areas within the Sea of the Damned, known as the Sea of Tribute, a golden afterlife where all of their dreams are manifested into reality. When Belle first emerged in the cinematic for the adventure, she was seen shortly after a speech from the Pirate Lord. The place he was giving this speech was within the Legends Tavern, a place we discover when taking part in the Pirate's Life Tall Tales. This always confused me somewhat. Now you might say this is literally just a stage area for the cinematic. I mean, it makes sense, it is the Legends Tavern, but why not literally anywhere else in the Sea of Thieves? Legends. Why this tavern specifically? And sure, you could say, well, it's the Legends Tavern. It would make sense for the Pirate Lord to be here. But here's the thing. The Legends Tavern is a place where the dead congregate. The dead that want to remain dead. They want to live their life in peace, basically drinking ale, getting drunk, and telling stories. And I don't see any dead people in here. Do you? Wouldn't it make more sense for him to make his speech at, well, Athena's Fortune, in front of actual pirate legends? Belle emerges to a shocked pirate lord, and we still have no idea how she got here. Could it be that the her Calypso was referring to was Belle? Did Jack Sparrow promise to save her somehow from the Sea of the Damned? Now, it's worth noting that Belle doesn't know of the Ancients' capital within the Sea of the Damned yet. If that was the case, the Dark Brethren would have captured her, not Briggsy, but she does know of places that the Ancients dwell within the Sea of the Damned, so it's very likely that she was trapped there in some way. And to come back to the Sea of Thieves, she would need some form of key or talisman. And there has been a few theories thrown around that what resides inside this talisman is in fact Tinkerbell from the Peter Pan universe. Talisman, Belle, Tinkerbell. I'm not saying she's a fairy, I'm just saying it's a nod to the Peter Pan universe. It seems entirely likely and something that Sea of Thieves would probably do. Now, I know this is really clutching at straws. I mean, heck, that's literally what I do. But given the radio silence of Rare as of late, and the fact no one has made any oopsies within the game and accidentally leaked any content to come in seasons for 2023, it does all feel very familiar to what happened shortly before the release of Season 3, when Pirate's Life was finally announced. Plus, they have stated that the anniversary for Sea of Thieves is coming, and something big is being planned both within and outside of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Jack will return and we'll get another catalogue of Tall Tales again. The devs have actually made it quite obvious that although Tall Tales could return, it's not something that's on their roadmap for now. But that doesn't necessarily mean that a continuation of the Pirate's Life update has to come in the form of Tall Tales. It could be adventures, it could be a new faction, it could just simply be a way to tie up loose ends and move the story along and fill in gaps where things literally don't make sense. But I do think in 2023, we'll be seeing Mr. Disney Pirate make a return. I'm 100% certain of that. And I hope Gibbs is the main character because he's the best pirate.